What's up, guys? Just a little announcement. Tomorrow, May 14th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we're opening up our coaching for applicants. That's Ascendant Athletics. You can check out rascalapparel.com for all the information. If you didn't know, I do a little bit of online coaching. It's me, Omar Usuf, Captain Planet. We teamed up, coach a couple people, try to help you guys reach your goals. That's rascalapparel.com, 1 p.m., May 14th. Later.
Ha, bitch, I'm about to blow up. Say what? Bitch, I'm about
What's
to
happening?
blow up.
Training Gym, Mark Bell's Powercast here to answer more of your questions from Instagram and the YouTubes. The main question I get is, what is this little knob, this little circle happening on my phone? That, my friends, is called the pocket socket. Basically, it's like a little selfie stick. Chick, 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 chick. It's also just a nice little gripper. Your hands get cramped trying to grab the edges here. Slide it on in. Bada boom, bada bing. Got it from my friend Kelly Starrett. MobilityWOD.com. Check him out. I don't even think he sells these, but they're awesome. Let's hop into some questions here. I got a bunch on the Instagrams. Recommended age to start lifting. I think you can start lifting at any age. You know, there's a lot of talk about stunting growth and things like that, but I believe the truth is, as long as you're not, if you're lifting with proper form and not going crazy, you know, kids shouldn't be maxing out. There's no reason to. They'll get stronger with submaximal weights. Even most adults will get stronger with submaximal weights, but maybe 13, 14 to really start lifting. But I think some weightlifting movements or gymnastics, stuff like that, will get them strong and just learn body control at a pretty young age, and that'll help a lot. What is my favorite bodybuilder / powerlifter? I don't know. I mean, my favorite powerlifter is Ed Cohn, for sure, hands down, especially after meeting him. Coolest guy in the world, but Andy's just a freak. You know, he's near my weight class and lifting literally like double my total, so he's amazing. Bodybuilders, you know, Arnold's dope. He's just a legend for a reason. I like Franco Columbu a lot. Out of kind of the new generation, I really dig Dexter Jackson. I always looked up to Dexter Jackson, watched a lot of his videos. He's kind of an OG, and he's still like hanging with the young guns. I think that's pretty cool. What got me into powerlifting? I lifted weights for sports my whole life, and then once I stopped playing basketball, I just wanted to lift for performance. You know, I didn't want to lift necessarily to look good, even though now they kind of mesh well. But at the time, I saw more of a defined line, like try to be fast and jump high, try to look good, and I took this route. So the power lifts kind of just saying to me, try to get stronger, try to lift more weight, translate into jumping higher, running faster. So I just kind of took that route and ran with it. Do you have any interest in Olympic weightlifting like Omar? That's Omar Usuf, my homie. I do have interest, and I've been to multiple meets. I have a lot of friends that are weightlifters. A lot of the guys at Cal Strengths are homies of mine, top-level weightlifters. I think it's just too late for me, man. I'm getting too old. If I would have started it younger, I would have loved to compete or get better at it, but I'm too stubborn. If I went to try it now, it's obviously very difficult and it's very technique-driven. I think I'd get too frustrated. It would be too hard for me mentally to practice that hard and suck at it. It would not that I'm some amazing powerlifter, you know, I'm decent, but I would just suck right away, and that would really fucking crush my little ego. When am I going to start lifting? I don't know, man. I've made it to 26 years old, and I haven't touched a weight, so maybe I'll never start. How's that? What are some tips to not overthink a lift? I think everyone, you know, gets a little nervous when they start going a little bit heavier, or, you know, for you it might be 3 plates or 4 plates or 5 plates. You see that on the bar and you start to overthink things. I think the best two things. One is you have to practice your lift. Once you become really good at that lift and you're confident in your technical abilities with the squat, bench, and deadlift, or whatever lift it may be, you can just focus more on pushing. So practice your lift, work with, you know, 70, 80%, get really good at that lift. So then when you're at 90, 95, 100% of your max, you can just focus on giving it hell, and your form is still stay intact. The other thing is that's why, you know, stereotypically powerlifters are hitting themselves in the face and sniffing ammonia and the music's cranked. It's to kind of block out any kind of fear, get really fired up, and then try to do something they've never done before. You know, that's the best thing about powerlifting is the goal is to do something you have never done before. You lifted 315 pounds, now you're lifting 316. You have never done that before. Now you have to mentally conquer that. Like, man, I don't know if I can. Have you always been a power lifter, or did you start out doing some bodybuilding style workouts? Seems like there's so many people making the transition now as it gets more popular. Yeah, it does kind of seem like powerlifting's a little bit of a fad to some new people. I pretty much always did powerlifting. When I lifted for basketball, we benched and we did some other things, but we didn't deadlift. It just gets you too sore, I think, so my coach never really had me do that because I had to go play basketball 6 days a week. And I had to run. You know, if you have a real sore low back, that's going to be tough. I pretty much started powerlifting maybe 6 or so years ago. So did basketball, lifted for basketball for about 6 years, then did about a year or two of fluff, just stuff I read offline by myself, and then really got into deadlift and squat. And then about 3 years later, hopped into super training. Are the bulls or the calves going to take this series? I don't know if this video will come out in time. It should. I think the calves are going to take the series. I'm a big fan of both teams. I grew up watching the Bulls because when I first got into basketball, it was the Jordan era, so of course you like that team. But I'm mostly a Cavaliers fan. Not only do I dig LeBron, but my family is from Cleveland. My dad's from Cleveland, so that's the only other city I visited a lot besides Northern California. So I'm never going to vote against LeBron. I mean, he's a stud. Even though with no Kevin Love, they might have a very tough finals when they make it there, but I think they'll get past the Bulls. What has to happen before you bust out a dance move? I don't know, man. Good music, a little bit of caffeine. I'll dance a little bit. I like to have fun in the gym. You know, between sets and stuff, I'll be messing around. And I just like hip-hop, so I'll dance around a little bit. Monumental goals as far as powerlifting. In terms of myself, you know, I don't know about monumental, but the next goals are to get my deadlift up towards 700 pounds, get my squat up towards 600, and try to keep creeping my little measly bench up to the 400-pound mark. That's kind of the goals in general, while maintaining a decent health and physique. You know, I don't want to get too fat. I could probably gain a little bit of weight and get to those goals a little bit quicker. But personally, my goal is to just slow, steady progress over a long time, not get injured, and keep doing, you know, what I like to do is train. I like to train. I like powerlifting. I like the sport of powerlifting, but what I really like to do is I like to train. I like to lift weights. If we want to go to ST for a day, how can we do that? Would you be able to give us some pointers on our lifts? ST Super Training, the gym I train at, owned by Mark Bell, my coach, my training partner, my boss. But basically, it's a private gym. So if you want to visit, if you're in town, you can email the gym or try to get a hold of some of us. We can maybe schedule a day for you to come in. You can lift, but know that the team's lifting there at that time. So we can help you give pointers and stuff, but the best is just to work in with us, and we'll give you pointers as we go. It's not going to be a personal training session. You know, I don't know what people expect when they come in, but we come in to lift as well, and we're trying to better ourselves. So if you work out with us, we can definitely help you out. But if you're in the corner squatting by yourself and we're benching, don't expect us to come and give you a one-on-one session for an hour. We're all there trying to get better. So best option is just to come lift with us. That's how you'll learn the most. How to hit a PR on a deadlift. I'm 16 and I hit 405 for 2. I've been lifting for about 8 months. It's a pretty good deadlift, my man. That's pretty young, but the best way to hit a PR is just keep lifting. Doubles and triples are good, handling some heavy weight. Make sure your form's good. Just keep working on it over time. 405 for 2 is kind of your PR. You know, your real PR might be about 415, 420 for 1. Start handling 350 to 380 for a bunch of sets of 3 to 5. Do that for a couple months, then maybe retest. Shout out from Newfoundland. Do you think bands and chains are a necessity for speed work? If you guys didn't know, or he said the conjugate system, sorry. Speed work in the conjugate system is dynamic day. You'll do an upper body and a lower body heavy, and then you'll do an upper body and a lower body day with speed work or dynamic work using lighter weights, trying to move them fast. This method has been famous or made famous by Louis Simmons of Westside Barbell. We train very similarly at Super Training. Typically, speed days are done with bands and chains, accommodating resistance, making the weights heavier at the top and lighter at the bottom. But I don't believe that they're a necessity, but I do think that they're optimal. To move fast, it's really hard on the deadlift, bench, and squat because your body's going to slow yourself down. You can't really slam into a bench because then your joints are going to hurt and you're going to lose balance. But if you have something you're pushing against that's gradually getting heavier. It's a little easier to slam into that thing. So I do think they're great for speed work. I do think they're great for becoming faster and more explosive, but they're not a necessity. You can also do speed work with straight weight. Do knee sleeves help you at the bottom of a squat? I personally believe that knee sleeves help you very, very, very minimally. I think mostly they keep you warm, a little bit of slight compression, but I don't think they give you a whole lot of poundage. I've used multiple sleeves. I've done no sleeves, I've done wraps, and I believe that my PRs and no sleeves, even though it's a little less comfortable on my knees, it hurts a little bit more, are basically the same weights I've done with the sleeve on. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Subscribe if you guys like the video. I'd love to hear your comments below. Like it, share it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.